zone. It's now time for the chief support of the evening. Set to make his ring walk, please welcome the undefeated Harold King Calderon.
Well, Harold Calderon would seem to have everything you could want on paper. A U.S.-based welterweight with a 27-0 record, a top 10 sanctioning body ranking, and the backing of athletes and celebrities like Kendrick Perkins and Kiko Alonso. Despite that, Calderon has fought in relative obscurity on the Florida circuit, entering the sport late and building his career in the Sunshine State as he called out all the names he could think of. Tonight, he gets the opportunity he's been waiting for, a shot on a major network against a serious contender, a massive step up in class, but one he insists that he's been ready to take for quite some time.
And now, entering the arena, the undefeated Shahram G'iyosov.
Well, Shahram G'iyosov won silver for his weight class globally. His pro career has gone off without a hitch, starting 13-0 with 9 knockouts. But for one reason or another, G'iyosov has seen his fellow countrymen, his friends and training partners such as MJ Akhmadaliev, Beck the Bully, and others either surpass him in achievement or acclaim to this point in the pros. But with a top 5 ranking in the WBA, G'iyosov is hoping for a victory in tonight's eliminator bout and to recapture some of the buzz that he enjoyed on the back of his Olympic success.
Ladies and gentlemen, from New Orleans, Louisiana, live on the zone, it's now time for the chief support of the evening. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with World of Boxing. We're sponsored by Bet Online and Stagefront. This bout is sanctioned under the auspices of the Louisiana State Boxing Commission. The chairman is Buddy Empanato, and the World Boxing Association. The president, Director Jesus Mendoza. The supervisor is Kina Malpartida. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside. From Texas, Javier Alvarez. From Nevada, Robert Boyle. And from Panama, Octavio Rodriguez. At the side of the belt, your 3rd man in the ring from Texas, referee Rafael Ramos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing schedule for the WBA Welterweight World Title Eliminator. Introducing first, fighting under the red corner, wearing the black with gold trim. He scaled 146.2 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 27 fights, 27 victories, 18 of them coming by way of knockout. Originally, de Tegucigalpa, Honduras, now living, fighting, and training out of Miami, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, Harold King Calderon. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears white with green trim. He scaled already 146.1 pounds. His professional record, also a perfect one. 13 fights, 13 victories, 9 of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Bukhara, Uzbekistan, here is the 2016 Olympic silver medalist, the 2017 amateur world champion, the former WBA international super lightweight champion, and the IBF North American welterweight champion, Shahram G'iyosov.
Obey my command. Conscious over here gonna be okay. Let's go.
We're set to go here in our co-feature. Shahram G'iyosov, the Olympic silver medalist, looking to take a step closer to a world title shot. And Harold Calderon finally getting the opportunity that he's been calling for several years here in our co-feature. round one underway. Harold Calderon taking a massive step up in class here tonight, certainly through no fault of his own. He's been taking the fights that he's been given, as I mentioned, kind of in obscurity on that Florida circuit over the last couple of years.
Yeah, but the good thing about being down in Florida is you get great sparring, and he may not have the stiffest opposition in terms of who he's fought. He's been in the gym, been in the ring with some very talented guys throughout the years. South Florida is a hotbed for boxing.
Calderon scored knockout wins in 8 of his last 10 outings. I saw Shahram G'iyosov scoring a unanimous decision victory over Christian Gomez on the Canelo Bivol undercard. There's a nice left hand that broke through from Harold Calderon.
And you see a natural size advantage for Calderon in the ring. G'iyosov's second fight's moving up to 147 pounds, really for full time. So we'll see if Calderon can use that to his advantage tonight.
And although Calderon does have the height and reach advantage, G'iyosov is very explosive. He jumps in with shots, a lot of times with the leaping lead left hook, which can be effective against the southpaw.
It can also be dangerous too, right, Chris? I mean, if you jump in like that, it increase your chance of getting caught. And when I watch Calderon fight, that straight left hand, that's got some muscle behind it.
I've always thought that about G'iyosov, that he jumps in, but his timing is very good. He's able to get away with it, even against some good fighters.
G'iyosov certainly has that hallmark kind of bouncy, Uzbek footwork. There's a nice left hook from G'iyosov.
Timed that beautifully.
Here's the chance of Harold here in New Orleans. He certainly brought a crowd from Florida here tonight. You mentioned some of the famous fans. They're part of the Calderon stable.
G'iyosov fighting with very wide stance and elbows flared. An interesting tactic.
But what does that suggest to you, Chris? Does that mean he's looking to load up on hooks?
Yeah, I mean, it goes with his explosive style, but you got a guy who's tall and long in front of you. You're within range to get hit, and you don't have a lot of footwork to move when your feet are that wide. It takes away from your power punching if you are set.
Shot down the middle there from G'iyosov. About 20 seconds of round one. Calderon being forced to work off the back foot a little bit more than he's used to.
Yeah, because G'iyosov's putting a lot of physical pressure. Not throwing a ton of punches, but making his body away, present in front of Calderon and walking him into corners. Calderon doing a good job of keeping his lead foot on the outside of G'iyosov's, which is what you want to do when you're the southpaw.
Right hand there from G'iyosov. Bit of a looping shot. A little bit of an arc on that right hand, but it breaks through the guard of Harold Calderon. I mentioned the size difference that we see here. Harold Calderon, really a physically big welterweight. He was a pretty successful high school wrestler, and he's kept some of that physique. And what we've seen out of Harold to this point in his career is the ability to bully guys on the inside, but he really isn't having that opportunity against G'iyosov at all.
No, he's not going to do that being on his back foot and with his back against the ropes, which he spent most of the round number one.
Nice counter left hand there from G'iyosov.
G'iyosov is doing a nice job with his punch selection. Left hook high, straight right hand low, looping the right hand, throwing it straight, mixing things up nicely, trying to find holes in the defense of Calderon.
Good shot to the body there from Calderon. A nice counter right hook to the body.
He would be smart to go to the body often with G'iyosov because his elbows are so flared and wide.
See that shot from Calderon. Lit the fuse in the crowd that has traveled here for him. Chance of Harold once again, but G'iyosov wraps a nice Sweeping right hand around the guard of Calderon there. Nice right hand to the body as well. Giving Calderon different looks, moving that right hand around.
Yeah, I think the two shots to look out for from G'iyosov in this fight are that right hook that he's thrown to the body quite well, and also the left hook upstairs. Especially if he combines the two, I think he would have success. Right hand low, left hand high. There it is.
That's the old, the Danny Garcia combination.
Yes, yes. Right hand low, left hand high on opposite sides of the body. It's very difficult to defend.
Final moments here of round two. A couple good moments in this round for Harold Calderon. Shahram G'iyosov taking control here down the stretch.
Dealing with one of these, you need the free fix finder service from AutoZone. It checks these warning lights to email you a detailed report. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician verified fixes.
Our lives are the sum of our choices. This mission of yours.
He's gonna start fading after the 5th round, all right? Take him down! Back off, back off, back off.
So as round three gets underway, we send it over to Chris Mannix, who's standing by with an NBA champion and very interested observer.
I am here with Kendrick Perkins, NBA champion, ESPN analyst, also would not stop yelling at me between rounds of that last fight. You were yelling at me a little bit.
Were you surprised to see me?
Not at all.
How could I not yell at you when you put me on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
I do what I can. I do what I can. You're also a close friend of Harold Calderon, 27-0 coming into this fight. Why do you think he's ready for this type of fight?
Well, you know what? I feel like he's getting up in age. An older fighter, 27-0, 18 knockouts. And Harold and I have been close friends for about the last 3 years. And I told him I'm going to get behind him. I got a special love for boxing, and I got a special love for his passion. And he deserves these opportunities.
What do you like about what you've seen so far?
You know what? He's patient. You know, the first couple rounds, Chris, he's feeling them out, but he's going to unleash in a minute. You better believe that.
Good to see you, Bert.
With all of these.
Guys, thanks so much, Chris. Thanks, Bert.
He's putting a lot of pressure here.
Good shot there from Calderon.
Yeah, nice answer. Good feint there.
Well, to your point earlier, Chris, the pressure from G'iyosov it's constant. It's constant footwork. It's constant feints, constant level changes. Even if he's not throwing, there's always something to think about if G'iyosov is in front of you.
Yeah, it's a physical pressure. You know, he's doing it with a lot of movement, feinting, throwing looping shots. And Calderon, from what I've seen from his past fights, he's at his best offensively when he's backing a man up and coming forward. Not as effective when he's fighting off of his back foot. He boxes well from there, but his power comes from when he's moving forward.
Calderon with a couple straight left hands there. Nice counter shot there from G'iyosov. Counter right hand. G'iyosov starting to get a little bit more playful here.
I mean, G'iyosov is stopping right in Calderon's range, but Calderon is not pulling the trigger.
Yeah, G'iyosov is basically planting his feet and daring him to exchange here.
Yeah, he's trying to bait the offense out so he can counter it.
Ducks underneath, left hand from Calderon. Counter shots there from G'iyosov, a right hand to the body. Catches the return fire from Calderon. Final 10 seconds here of round three. Another sweeping shot there from Calderon as he tries to keep G'iyosov off of him. Breaks through with a right hand. Coming up in New York City at Madison Square Garden, it's the return of Edgar Berlanga next Saturday as he takes on Jason Quigley.
his power comes when he's coming forward. He's not really a counter puncher off of his back foot.
To that point, then, a very good game plan for G'iyosov to basically dare Calderon to come forward and force him to be uncomfortable, as he has seemed to be throughout this contest.
There's not much coming back at him. I don't know why G'iyosov is not throwing more. He's getting into position and not firing.
G'iyosov fights with a very wide stance.
Right hand to the body there from G'iyosov, and follows it up with a nice left hook. It knocks Calderon off balance.
I think the running dance move was nicer than the hook, actually.
You know, you ask Chris why he doesn't follow up, or he's not pursuing as much. I mean, you wonder, too, if maybe a lesson was learned from the fight with Bektemir Melikuziev and Gabe Rosado. I mean, these guys are all stablemates. And, great shot there.
Good shot from G'iyosov.
You wonder if that makes him a little bit more cautious, given that happened to a guy that he's very close with.
Well, and there were also some kind of scary moments for G'iyosov against Christian Gomez last time out as well. I believe in the 7th round, Gomez got through to him, had G'iyosov at least temporarily in trouble. Here's Calderon, a left hand down the middle.
That was a really nice shot. That split the guard of G'iyosov. Straight right hand right down the middle. Nice, hard, clean shot from Calderon. A combination that I'm watching G'iyosov set up all night, finally landing. He throws the straight right hand down to the pit of the stomach, comes back with a left hook upstairs, which is a great combination against the southpaw. Finally landed really well a few moments ago.
Step back counter there from G'iyosov. Hands at the side once again, trying to bait Calderon in. Action picking up. Coming up next, it is our main event. The Root.
Here we see that combination I was talking about that G'iyosov has been setting up from to the left hook up to the head. Landed that twice in that last round.
Round 5 begins. Our co-feature between Shahram G'iyosov and Harold Calderon. Main event between Prograis and Zorrilla up next, as Harold Calderon sneaks through a nice right hook to the body. G'iyosov just missed with a counter left hook. Put everything into that one, and it just whizzed past the face of Harold Calderon.
Calderon get a little more active with some of those body shots. Everything's upstairs right now.
I like to see him get active, more active, period. Upstairs, downstairs, whatever.
He's just sort of pawing with that jab right now, not an impact punch. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to set up that straight left, but just not anything behind it.
Well, G'iyosov is picking up on that, trying to counter over top of it or beneath it with the left hook to the body. G'iyosov is doing what you'd like Calderon to be doing more of, as he goes back downstairs a moment ago.
G'iyosov's throwing one punch at a time, though. He's completely swinging and selling out on each and every punch. He would have a lot more success if after that left hook he threw a right hand, because he's either just missing or landing the one shot. He's not building on anything.
We do get the sense in this round that he's putting a little something more on these shots. Either he's just getting more vocal in throwing them, or he is throwing them a little bit harder, but you're right. They are indeed coming one at a time from G'iyosov.
Yeah, we use the term recent loosely.
Yes, exactly.
He's doing a lot of setup maneuvers to throw one punch.
20 seconds here in round 5.
He has 9 KOs in 13 fights, but he's far from a one-punch knockouts. Nice left hook.
Some dropped Christian Gomez 3 times in his most recent bout. That was in May of last year.
Yeah, we use the term recent loosely.
Yes, exactly.
You and I were at that fight on the undercard of Canelo and Bivol.
The 20 seconds here of round 5. Calderon still hesitant hesitant to let his hands go as G'iyosov bangs him to the body.
G'iyosov slid in a couple nice left hooks just under the elbow that lead on of Calderon this round.
See Andy Cruz on that card as well, the debut of the outstanding human amateur. There's a lot of expectations for
Harold Calderon, but they are becoming more and more infrequent as we approach the midway point of this fight. Oh, there's a left hand for Calderon. That's what he's been looking for.
I think when he goes back and watches this fight, that he's going to see there was a lot more opportunities for him to let his hands go. Because when he does throw, he is effective. G'iyosov is there to be hit. He's standing at his range. He's got his feet very, very wide. He's got his hands in terrible defensive position.
It's just that he's looking for the exact same punch over and over again. It's a straight run left hand, and he's not really changing the geography of it all that much. It's upstairs, upstairs, upstairs.
The corner a few rounds ago said that he's going to tire after the 5th, so maybe their idea is to pick it up on the back end.
G'iyosov looking for that sweeping left hook. Again, one at a time from G'iyosov. Had Calderon along the ropes there, didn't choose to follow up. Nice right hand down the middle from G'iyosov.
Good sweeping left hand catches G'iyosov at the end of the punch.
Calderon trying to probe with that left hand. Tries to find it. G'iyosov firing back. Inside the final minute of round 6. Calderon starting to take a few steps closer to G'iyosov here. G'iyosov looking for that leaping left hook. We've seen him score some knockouts early in his career with that one. But it's the left hand of Calderon that reaches the body of G'iyosov.
Yeah, nice little body shot there from Calderon.
Threw a double jab moments ago. Not snappy, but at least he threw 2. I haven't seen much of that tonight. I think that'd be a great weapon for him, being as long as he is, coming from that southpaw position as well.
Final 10 seconds of round 6. Harold Calderon starting to inch forward just a little bit, but you'd have to believe this is another round in the bank.
Right? And then we're giving away the round. So we gotta walk forward now. We gotta step to those rounds for no reason. Yo, we gotta make this shit fun. How you feeling? All right, then. It's fucking great. Great. Keep there on the inside. Work your body. Keep pressing. You understand me? We gave him too much space already. He's making a lot of mistakes that we want to execute on. Hands are down. Putting out with his chin up. Because you got to get there. You got to touch it. You got to be close enough to do it.
Interesting advice in the corner of Harold Calderon there. You know, Chris Algieri, you said earlier, you noted in the corner, they said, hey, after round 5, we think G'iyosov will tire, then we'll turn it up. Oftentimes we'll hear fighters talk about that, but they don't explicitly enact it. But in the corner of Calderon right now, they said, let's go out and make this one fun. Let's just go to the inside.
Well, they said exactly what I said last round. He's making a lot of mistakes. He's got his legs too wide. He pulls straight out with his chin up in the air. He's got his arms out. It's true. There's a lot of times that Calderon could take advantage of those positions that G'iyosov puts himself in.
Well, Chris Mannix, how do you have this one scored so far?
Yeah, I've got it 6 rounds to none in favor of Shahram G'iyosov. I just think he's controlled the vast majority of each of these rounds. His punches have been sharper. The power punch edge is to him as well. I agree with Chris Algieri. There have been opportunities for Calderon to land some consequential stuff, but as his corner just noted, you're just giving away some of these rounds in the back end. It'll be interesting to see if Harold Calderon has that extra gear where he can just sell out and try to make it a war.
He's starting to take steps to the inside there. A couple exchanges to the body. G'iyosov and Calderon trading shots to the body a moment ago.
You know, up until this round, I mean, with Calderon, there's been no urgency. It almost looks like he's sparring. Right now, he's actually throwing and landing some shots.
How much of this can be attributed to his level of opposition to this point, and probably not in live action, having faced someone like G'iyosov, certainly not, but someone that's going to make him think, and feinting him, he's mostly been able to dictate every round of every fight of his pro career to this point.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to dictate a second of this fight, so it's definitely a different thing. Right now, he's letting his hands go and throwing with some heat.
One of the key attributes of Harold Calderon with that wrestling background is that physical strength on the inside. See if he can heed the instructions of his corner and work his way in there. See if G'iyosov will allow it.
Nice jab there from Calderon coming in.
Speaking of that wrestling background, I don't think I've seen these guys clinch once.
No, I don't think we've had a single one.
No.
G'iyosov again just advancing on Calderon with his hands down.
It's so strange that G'iyosov gets himself in punching range and just doesn't throw. Neither man throws. But especially G'iyosov puts himself there and then pulls out or jumps out. That's a good shot.
Right hand from G'iyosov to close out round 7.
Поймай кайф и покажи зрителям спектакль, понял? Расслабляй, свободен. Сам удовольствие получи. Сам удовольствие получи.
Here we go with round 8. Shahram G'iyosov seemingly in full control here against Harold Calderon, doing just enough round after round. We would assume to be ahead on all scorecards at the moment. Calderon's posture changing a little bit, maybe thinking about trying to get to the inside. There he lands a left hand to the body.
You know, Corey, at the Open, you spoke about the other Uzbek fighters moving ahead of G'iyosov in the pro ranks. And one of the reasons is that the guys go out and they look to get sensational wins. We're not seeing that from G'iyosov, especially here. He's happy, satisfied just to win every round, where I think he could really make a statement here if he let those hands go.
There's a 3-punch combination from G'iyosov. That may be the most fluid combination we've seen from him to this point in the fight. Finishes that one off the left hook to the body.
And he lands 2 great shots. I mean, we've been saying that for rounds now. He throws 1 punch at a time, but when he lets combinations go, he is a lot more effective. And if Calderon is waiting for G'iyosov to tire, I mean, he's going to run out of rounds. Because at this pace, I don't see G'iyosov getting too exhausted.
I got it. No pushing. No pushing. Hey, no pushing. Okay, let's go.
If you're Calderon,
And you see Giyasov fighting this way, hands down, sticking that chin out, kind of daring you to really engage him. You've got to take advantage of it. You've got to at least try and go after him if he's going to fight like that. Left hook from Giyasov, swings and misses with the right hand. And the chance of Harold can't drown out the booze right now at the Smoothie King Center.
I got it, no puncher, let's go. That's it.
Giyasov certainly seems to be stepping on it a little bit this round, letting his hands go a little more, trying to push the action.
You know, is it possible that this is Giyasov, who's been out of the ring for more than a year, maybe trying to get a few rounds in? We have seen that from Beck the Bully in the past, and not to lump all Uzbek fighters in with one another, but is this pure hesitance, or is this a little bit of rust?
I would think that would be a silly thing to do. You know, a boxing ring is not a safe place to get rounds in. You get cut, you break your hand. There are a lot of things that can happen in a boxing ring. Put you on the shelf, and he does not have time for that.
Вот сейчас я вижу Шахрама. Играть принужденно, артиста, понял? Все, что хочешь делать, но провалить. Попробуй, знаешь, что отрабатывали? Левую даю, правой наружу. Свою руку, бэк сюда. И левой боковой заканчивай. Только дал руку, потяни его на себя. Тогда как он повалится на тебя, кричай.
Well, of course, we do not speak the native tongue of Shahram G'iyosov. However, I think it's noticeable that the tenor in the corner of G'iyosov changed a little bit. They seem to be a little bit more aggressive, or trying to invoke some aggression from their fighter.
Yeah, definitely seen that way. They want him to work, push, do more.
And look, the exact same message came from the corner of Harold Calderon. His corner wants Calderon to step to Giyasov and start throwing some punches.
Oh, good left shot.
Calderon.
Calderon's corner is yelling, he's hurt, he's hurt. I don't know if that's the case, but it's emboldened Calderon a little bit, and maybe Giyasov as well.
Hardest punches of the night were landed by Giyasov on his own shoulders just now.
There's Calderon letting his hands go once more.
I don't think Giyasov is hurt, but those were definitely impactful punches landed by Harold Calderon.
We've been saying it all night, but he throws. He's effective. He just needs to do it more. The corner yelling, step to him, step to him. Calderon.
Calderon's either been hesitant on his own accord or just dazzled by the constant movement of Giyasov, even though, again, it's been mostly one punch at a time from Giyasov like that.
Yeah, it's pretty clear after 8 rounds that Harold Calderon is not going to be effective fighting Giyasov off his back foot. He's got to move forward, and he's got to try to press the action.
Giyasov walked him into a nice counter left hook. And that will be a reality for Calderon if he does want to be successful and get to the inside. Giyasov is a sharp counterpuncher. He might get hit with some of these shots. But if he continues to stay on the outside, I think we have a pretty clear picture of how these rounds are going to go. Shots again. Calderon gets there with the left hand, but Giyasov, the two-punch combination to the body. Last shot to the body for Giyasov, straight a little bit low, but that one was right on target.
Calderon has taken all of these shots well, to the head and to the body. I'm not exactly sure why he's so apprehensive about his willingness, or not unwillingness, to exchange.
A little bit of a blemish underneath the eye, the left eye of Harold Calderon. Can't tell if there's any swelling as of yet. We'll get a closer look in between rounds. There's a right hand down the middle from Giyasov. Calderon tries to reply, blocked by Giyasov. And that'll do it for the round. And we're very excited excited to have boxing back in the Big Easy as we take a look at the Superdome, the home of the New Orleans Saints. And our home for tonight, the Smoothie King Center, which houses World Championship boxing, including our main event. Regis Prograis and Danielito Zorrilla should be coming up next.
You gotta just walk in front, foot forward. Defend, catch, fire. Defend, catch, fire. And don't come out of that. Keep stepping to this motherfucker. You got this. He's going to sleep now. Go get him.
3 rounds to go here in our co-feature, so it's as good a time as any to check in with Chris Mannix's scorecard.
Yeah, I've got it pretty heavy in favor of Shahram G'iyosov. I've got it 8 rounds to 1 at this point. Did give Calderon 1 round back in the 7th. I thought he came out with a little more energy. I thought G'iyosov took that round off a little bit, but everything else has been all Shahram G'iyosov in this fight. You're in the corner of Harold Calderon. They want one thing: step to him, let your hands go, put this man to sleep. See if Calderon can do it over these final 3 rounds.
Well, and I would have to think that that's a necessity for Calderon at this point. Not just taking those instructions, but putting G'iyosov to sleep if he wants to win this fight. There's G'iyosov starting to get a little flashier. Nice right hand, pivots around and lands the left hook.
And in those brief moments that Calderon does have G'iyosov backing up, he's got to keep moving forward. Oftentimes, when he gets G'iyosov taking a couple steps back, Calderon stops, gets flat-footed, and plants himself in a spot in the ring. He doesn't take advantage of the few opportunities he has with Shahram G'iyosov.
Small cut outside the left eye of Calderon.
G'iyosov picking up the tempo a little bit. You notice his gait changing a little bit, a little bouncier. The volume still isn't quite there, but we've seen more out of G'iyosov in this round, perhaps than in previous rounds. You see that cut under the eye of Harold Calderon might be accompanied by another one above it. We'll take a closer look, but there's certainly more blood there than there was previously.
Yeah, there's definitely a slice over the top of the eye now. You got a small abrasion under and a cut above.
Punch combination there from G'iyosov. Both men throwing a lot more here in the 10th.
Advantage that Calderon has. If G'iyosov can touch him on the end of the glove like that, that means he'd be able to hit him. He's just not willing to pull the trigger.
Good hand down the middle there from G'iyosov. Final 20 seconds of round 10. As Calderon tries to reach the body of G'iyosov, and G'iyosov with a nice shot over the top.
And a good check left hook.
Yeah, beautiful counter there from G'iyosov. Coming up next, it is our main event, the WBC 140-pound title on the line as the champion, Regis Prograis, takes on Danielito Zorrilla as we take a look at the 2 men in their final preparations here backstage at the Smoothie King Center. Biggest night in the career of Danielito Zorrilla. Certainly an emotional one for Prograis, coming back home for the first time in 5 years. Round 11 begins. Saw the work being done on the cuts over and underneath the eye of Harold Calderon. Chris, those seem to be ones that are obstructing his vision right now?
No, they're not in dangerous positions at all. It doesn't seem like the blood is falling into the eye. That's the problem with cuts, is the bleeding into the eye and blinding that side. The cut above the eye doesn't seem to be bleeding much at all. Even if it is, it's a little bit to the outside. It'll trickle down the face, not into the field of vision.
I mentioned this fight is considered an eliminator by the WBA. Both these men inside the top 10 in those sanctioning body rankings. And we'll see that title being defended here on DAZN on July 8th. Stanionis and Ortiz Jr. go at it. A victory for either one of these men would take them a step closer, potentially, to a shot at the winner of that fight.
You know, I just checked in with the corner of Shahram G'iyosov, talking to Joel Diaz for a minute, and he's saying a lot of the same things we're saying here on the broadcast. They want to see a little more explosiveness from their guys, not as active as they'd like him to be, and they really wanted to pick up the pace over these last couple of rounds because they don't think there's much threatening coming back from Harold Calderon.
Step back counter there from G'iyosov, but Calderon lands a nice right hook as well.
Yeah, not seeing as much of that explosiveness from G'iyosov as I've seen in the past. He settled down on more, partly because his feet or his stance is so wide. It's very difficult to generate power in close cover distance like that.
Counter shot to the body there from Calderon. Nice left hand as well. Calderon's going to need a lot more than that if he wants to pull this one out. Beautiful counter shot there from G'iyosov.
Beautiful counter shot, Corey, but then he just sat there and admired it right 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's not built on anything he's done. He's set a couple moves that he wanted to land. He lands them, but never builds on them.
G'iyosov maybe starting to feel it a little bit in there, but the showboating is seemingly to the ire of the crowd here. And I think they're seeing exactly what you guys are seeing. He lands a nice shot. And in that instance, opted to dance rather than follow up.
He's celebrating a little too early.
In the corner of Harold Calderon, who's tried everything in the book at this point to get Calderon to engage a little bit more. It just hasn't happened over the first 11 rounds of this fight. I don't see any reason to believe it's going to happen here in the 12th.
Left hook on the inside there from G'iyosov. And again, to put this into perspective, listen, G'iyosov has completely shut down and potentially shut out an undefeated top 10 ranked fighter. However, there have been moments where I'm sure viewers at home are thinking, why isn't there a little bit more coming from G'iyosov?
Yeah, I mean, and we know at this stage of the game, it's not just about winning, it's how you win. If you want to get that recognition that he's been striving for, that his teammates have gotten, his countrymen, you know, you got to step on the gas.
You start talking about getting title defenses or title opportunities. A guy like Shahram G'iyosov is going to have to work his way up the ranks to get a mandatory position, because as fights like this play out, you're just not going to have a lot of top guys, even as the belts start to fracture the next year or so, that are, you know, looking to get into the ring with Shahram G'iyosov.
Good combination to the body from G'iyosov a moment ago. G'iyosov now just flicking the jab, perhaps content to take a possible shutout victory here in this eliminator and move on to the next one.
We saw a brief flicker from Harold Calderon in the first 30 seconds of that round that showed kind of aggressiveness we haven't seen for most of this fight. But here we are, a minute 15 remaining, and we're kind of back to what we've seen for most of it, which is Calderon fighting off.
I'd like to have seen more rounds through 1 to 11, but is there any point in Giyasov selling out at this point for the purposes of entertainment?
I think so. I would say so, but I mean, yeah, from his side, but again, nothing's coming back from Calderon that would give him any impression that he was in danger. And that's exactly what Joel Diaz.
And that's what's coming from Joel Diaz, and I'm sure coming from everyone in the corner of Giyasov. You're not in a lot of danger there in the ring. Why don't you go out there and see if you can land something big?
Calderon landed a shot to the body a moment ago. Giyasov landed a couple shots to his shoulders.
Unless the boxing gods now smite us and Calderon scores a one-punch KO.
Final 10 seconds of this contest. As Shahram G'iyosov managed to nullify Harold Calderon all night long. Calderon asked for the step up for many years. He got it, but just wasn't able to pull the trigger with enough regularity here tonight.
I think for a guy like Giyasov moving forward, activity is going to be the key. As we mentioned, his first fight since May of 2022. He doesn't need to go another calendar year before he gets another fight. If you're Harold Calderon, I think you learn something in a fight like this. You learn what it takes to compete at the highest level. Went the distance with a really talented guy, so certainly things you can build on as your career moves forward.
And I think when he looks back, he's going to see all the things that we were talking about in terms of all the places that he could have got in, how much success he did have when he did let his hands go, and how hittable Giyasov was. So I think, like you said, this could be a good learning situation for Calderon, but he'll be 36 in 6 days.
Let's take a look back at some of the highlights from this contest.
Be a lot of single shots coming from Giyasov. There's a nice straight right hand, which is a good weapon against the southpaw. You split the guard, get your head offline. Here we see a big overhand left from Calderon, catching Giyasov on the chin. And we saw a combination from Giyasov with the right hand down the middle, left hard power jab over top, which is again very good movement against a southpaw to move outside their lead foot, stay invisible, as we say in the gym.
Looks like we are ready to make this one official. As Harold Calderon, disappointing performance here tonight for him. And Giyasov perhaps preemptively celebrating, but coming up on July 8th, Imanta Staniotis takes on Virgil Ortiz Jr. for the WBA welterweight world title as both men put their unbeaten records on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action here in New Orleans, we go to the judges' score totals. Javier Alvarez, 120-108. Giyasov. Robert Hoyle, 118-110. Giyasov. Octavio Rodriguez, 116-112. For Giyasov, all three for your winner by unanimous decision, Shahram G'iyosov.
116-112 for Giyasov was an interesting scorecard.
I mean, if you're Harold Calderon, that's what you're going to chew on, I think, after this fight. You can say that you won that many rounds against Giyasov in this.